I'm Dan Salzer with Plymouth State Broadcasting and a special edition of Coach's Corner. As always, for men's ice hockey, I'm joined with head coach Craig Russell. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Looking back so far in this fall semester, it's been an up and down start, 6-4 overall, but 5-1 in MASCAC, sitting in first place. Definitely not the start you guys were expecting or what you're accustomed to, but overall, are you happy with how the team's played so far in the first 11 games?
I like our progression. We still have a lot of work to do. And, I mean, if we're ever in a year where we're playing our best hockey in December, then we're going to have a problem. So it's good to have things to work on. We retooled almost all of our systems coming into this year, so it's like we've got 28 freshmen on the team, to be honest. So it's just a matter of consistency within those systems and really buying into it and becoming the team that we think that we can become with our depth and our speed that we've got and our added size. So, we're making strides every day. Every day has been a really hard-working day, whether it be a game or a practice, and the guys have really kind of buckled down here the last couple of weeks to try to really show some improvement before we hit the break. So last night was a tough one, obviously, with the 3-2 loss, but when you come back from a 2-0 deficit and score 2 shorthanded goals to tie it, there's a whole lot to be said about that. And then we just got beat by a better goalie in the third period, and they had a puck that saw eyes through traffic, and that's just the way it is. So tons of good stuff. The negative stuff is easy to fix. We've just got to buckle down and do a little bit more film work and get some consistency and get these guys back from injury that are hurt and have been hurt for quite a while.
We've talked a lot about some of the new players to the team this year, especially with standouts Thierry Messervier-Net and Ryan Stevens up at front in the top line. Are there any real surprises that you have seen so far in this fall semester that really stand out you weren't expecting to see?
I don't know if there's any surprises necessarily. I mean, we expect a lot from all of our guys. They all bring a little bit of something different to the table. We expect them to play to their strengths every night. Victor Bergstrom has been a welcomed addition on the blue line. He's been hurt for almost 3 weeks now, so that's been a big loss on the back end. Drake Longacre's game is coming along. I really like his offensive ability and his ability to place pucks through traffic offensively. So, we've got to work on his defensive play a little bit, but he's one of the hardest working guys that we've got, and I know that he'll buy into that. And like you said, Thierry has been great. Ryan Stevens has been very consistent the whole year. I think if there's going to be a surprise, it's a returning player, and that's Quinn Carroll. Quinn has really been the backbone to our forward crop this entire season to this point. He's at a plus 13 right now, and he's been incredible on the penalty kill. We've spotted him in on the power play as well. We try to go with his line as often as we can. In any situation, it doesn't really matter. And his line was the sole reason that we were able to climb back and win the UMass Dartmouth game in overtime. So, he's been great. He's a leader, and he leads by example. When he speaks, he says the right thing, and the delivery is spot on. So, again, not surprised that that's coming from him, but it's refreshing to see a guy that's only a sophomore being able to do what he's been doing so far.
With the change in terms here at Plymouth State and around the country, winter is a kind of a surprising season for sports as new players are able to be added. Is there anyone new coming to the team for January, and what do they bring to the table?
Yeah, we've got one addition. He's a forward, Teddy McCarron, 6'2", 200-pound centerman. Makes plays, shoots the puck very well, can skate. He's a physical player. He's a big presence, being 6'2", and a guy that can move like he does. So he's coming off of an injury that he had some surgery in the off season, so we expect him to have a little bit of a slow start, just getting his game speed back and getting his legs underneath him. But we expect him to play a pretty crucial role once he gets those legs under him and gets his game back.
On the other side of things, we've talked a lot about special teams all year, as we mentioned earlier. What is still missing from this team? What still needs to improve to get this team to the next level?
I think we've just got to capitalize on our power plays. I mean, last night we were knocking on the door so many times, and we'd just sail one over the net or just push it wide, or they would get a stick on it at the last second, or the goalie would extend his leg and make a toe save, or just wouldn't elevate it quite enough, and we'd hit him in the glove. So we've just got to get that finish to our power play. The puck movement has been much better. Getting shots through that first level from the blue line has been a lot better. We've just got to get that finish. Our penalty kill has actually been really good over the past 3 weeks. I think we're operating at about 85+%, which is right where we want to be. If we can be over 85, then our penalty kill wins games for us, and that's great. The shorthanded goals are great. That's nothing by design. I mean, Ryan Stevens has 5, and that's part of that is a shorthanded hat trick he had against Framingham. But we've got guys offensively talented that can play in every situation, and that kind of shows what they can do even when they're on the penalty kill to capitalize on those rushes. So if we can get that sense of urgency to our power play, I think we're going to be a pretty dangerous team.
Lastly, before you guys are able to hit holiday break, you have one more game against Castleton University in a non-conference matchup. Looking at their stats, there's no real goal scorers for them, but what do they bring to the table? How are you guys going to beat them tomorrow night?
Castleton's a hardworking team, a blue-collar team. They've got very good goaltending that their numbers don't show. They've got a new coach. Their identity is completely different than what it has been over the past couple of years. So we don't know a whole lot of what to expect from them. Kind of the same as going into the UNE game where there's not a lot of film available to see. So we've just got to kind of go in blind and play our game and make sure that we bring our pace and our style of play to the game and make them adjust to us and not so much us adjusting to them. So again, on paper, they don't look like a strong team, but I'll tell you right now, they're a much stronger team than their record indicates.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Best of luck tomorrow, and thank you for this fall semester and the interviews that we've done.
Thank you, Dan, and thanks to your team for everything you've done. We appreciate it.